Hey, what's up, guys? This is Ivan from getivan.com, and this is a follow-up to my previous post and video on Pastebin SEO as a sort of kind of a new thing, maybe. And basically, I went and emailed the actual Pastebin support team, which some people would probably say is not the greatest idea when you're trying to do, SEO discovery on third-party services kind of thing. I don't know if that's officially what it would be called, but I don't like having to do anything sneaky and underhanded. You know what I mean? I certainly wouldn't want to be riding low, trying to get away with something like that. I just want to come into something and thrive and do well. You know what I'm saying? So I just asked the questions straight up, and I did another follow-up search on the topic. So I'm going to share a couple things on that as well. So let me show you my email real quick. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Basically, I asked the support team about the nature of the links in the Pro version, right? So the Markdown links. I just asked them some questions, and I'll post a screenshot of my question in the article on Pastebin SEO on getivan.com. But basically, here's his response. They are DoFollow links, but the Markdown pastes are no index. So Google will follow the links, but not index those pages. And that's pretty interesting because the regular paste bins, excuse me, they rank, they index and they rank, but they don't have hyperlinks, right? You can't include hyperlinks in those posts. But what's interesting is these Markdown paste bins, you can include hyperlinks, but those hyperlinks are DoFollow, which is pretty wild to me. But what's interesting about those paste bins is that they're tagged no index. So it's kind of like, you've got one thing on one end of the spectrum and another thing on the other end of the spectrum. I asked some follow-up questions here, and he responded, yes, indeed, it might be beneficial to the websites that have their links listed in Markdown pastes, as Google does follow those links. But as they might be spammy, we choose to not have Google index our pages which contain Markdown to prevent a Google penalty. And Google is pretty good in listening to no index, is what he's basically saying. I did ask one final follow-up question, but he never responded. It's weird because he didn't see this one. Then he saw this question mark, and then I just recently, about 40 minutes ago, tried to do a follow-up to see if he could see that, and so we'll see. But still some pretty awesome of Pastebin. Kudos to whoever this admin is at pastebin.com for being so gracious and answering my question. And it's interesting because it really makes a lot of sense. The whole purpose of it is to it provides a benefit to their users, but they've done it in such a way where in large quantities, they've protected themselves. They're trying to protect themselves from a Google penalty by marking them no index. So rather than just simply marking them no follow, they've done it DoFollow, but then no index to protect themselves. It's pretty respectable, honestly. So hopefully that'll stick. Who knows? But for now, that's pretty much the gist of it. What that means, I think, for SEOs is, first of all, the ability to some of the things I saw when I did a follow-up search on the topic were years old. No one's talked about this since 2012, and right now, as of this video, it's September 2017. So for a few years, nobody's been talking about this. And back in 2015, they added Markdown. So I'm sure that a lot of things have changed on Pastebin, but since then, and back then, it seemed like people were using Pastebin's trending section to piggyback some cheap traffic, basically. So they were doing clickbaity type stuff, and they were using forwarding URLs through like AdFly type shorteners and trying to make a chump change off of cheap ads. And there were some other things, like one guy was saying it was really good for reputation management. Like you could include a person's full name and some content and rank a Pastebin for somebody's name. So basically low competition SEO. People have been doing that for, it seems like, for a few years, but nobody's talking about the fact that these markdown pastes are do follow no index, and that means that they could be really powerful filtering mechanisms, because it's so easy to post the content. I've ranted about that many times. So how that could be used together, there's a limit of 250 a day, but I think that that's still something to really think about, how to incorporate that into every single Web 2.0 tiered link building campaign, or whatever we want to call it. Pretty powerful stuff. And what's really cool about that is that if you make the title of it something interesting, it can trend in the Pastebin trending section, so you can actually generate traffic. So right now my idea is to do some sort of tier 3 blog commenting type stuff with maybe Scrapebox, or there's other things out there that do this kind of thing. And maybe the small trickle of traffic that comes through there can land onto the Pastebin and possibly slowly cause it to trend, right? And then it's also sending juice through that DoFollow Pastebin to maybe a Web 2.0, and then finally to the money site. So that's kind of my idea right now. I need to test it. I need to try different kinds of things out there, but that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be sure to update you if I get a response from this guy. But other than that, keep your eye out for some Pastebin case studies, and certainly let me know what you've found or what you've tested. This has been Ivan from getivan.com, and thanks for your time. I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.